Hello and welcome to Elden Ring, and welcome particularly to my all quests, all endings guide, which part one of the guide anyway. This is the Lord of Frenzied Flame ending, but I'm hoping throughout this guide to play through the entire game, speeding up bits of it to make it easy to follow and leave you with the option of doing any or all of the 6 endings. And I'll even talk about how you can do all the endings on the Xbox, which is possible by deleting your saves and synchronizing at the right time. I've done it a few times, and I'll go through that when we're closer to. Obviously, I'm level 359 here on New Game Plus. Probably over leveled a bit because I was doing a lot of co-op and a lot of PvP. So sometimes I'm going to be coming across bosses here, which, if this is your first playthrough or you've gone on to New Game Plus at a more normal level, you'll be finding it more challenging than I will be. But that's not to worry. If you come across a boss which is too tough for you, just go away, level up, upgrade your gear, and come back. So, I'm also going to be doing the tutorial because just for completion's sake. And I'm going to be changing build partway through, but this is my kind of madness build. Obviously, you've got the fingers to collect there. Grab everything you can. Later, we'll come back there to get the Stormhawk and the Ashes of War. But for now, we need to get to the first boss. So we're doing a Golden Vow there. We're doing Flame Grant Me Strength. Then we're going to be doing this first boss, the Grafted Scion. So we've done a Cerulean Hidden Tear Flask for infinite FP, and we've just obliterated it with Unendurable Frenzy. So once you've killed the Grafted Scion, there isn't actually a way out, so you just have to die to get to the next stage of the game. This is going to be that little conversation you have with Melina, and after this conversation you could head straight out. But we're going to, for the completion's sake, we're going to go through the tutorial area. When you're in this cave, you'll see an item high on a ledge which you can't get to, but you can come back for that later. You access that from somewhere else. So we're going to drop down to the tutorial area. Grab that first grace. Again, if you are new to the game, it's worth paying attention to these tips that that are popping up as you fight these guys. Then we'll get on to the first boss, the Soldier of Godrick. Then the first part of the quest, where we'll speak to a character called Varre White Mask. So just whiz through, kill everyone. That's a stake of Marika, so if you get killed, you can respawn there instead of a Site of Grace. So again, we're going to do a couple of buffs here just to make this go better. We can't do a guard counter really because we're not using a shield at the moment. And this weapon is Vike's Spear, which you get from an NPC invader, the Church of Inhibition. So that's the tutorial done. The next thing we need to do is get out of this area here. We'll come back here later for some items, like the Dragon Communion Seal. First Sight of Grace in the open world, speak to Varre. He'll tell you that you're maidenless and that you need to get to Round Table Hold. And the thing you can see in the distance is the Tree Sentinel, which is kind of the game's first proper boss, but you're not really supposed to fight it and be able to beat it. You're supposed to go away, level up and upgrade your gear, but as I say, because I'm a bit over leveled, we can deal with him quite easily. We're going to do Golden Vow there. Then we're going to do Flame Grant Me Strength. And I'm going to use the Madness again to... that's a Cerulean Hidden Tear for infinite FP, so I can keep casting this. Quite hard for him to dodge, and it's got some poise breaking stance damage as well, so That's the tree sentinel dealt with. So we've done White Mask Varre, that's important. The next thing we need to do is get to this Church of Elleh, get the grace, speak to Kale the merchant, and buy any key items that you want from him. Then we're going to head over towards Gatefront. So a few soldiers you can take out on the way if you want for runes. There is a dungeon nearby that we can do. At the moment we're just going to focus on doing the key tasks towards getting all these quests lined up, and then once we've got all the endings sorted we'll come back and do the dungeons last. So again, we're just going to take a few of these soldiers out. At this stage I was kind of experimenting just to see how effective my build was in New Game Plus at this level. And these guys aren't really giving me a lot of trouble at all. Obviously there's the weapons to grab from here. You've got the Lordsworn's Greatsword and the Flail. And you've also got the Whetstone and an Ash of War to get from this chest down here. It'll only show me getting the Ash of War because the Whetstones are unique items. You can only get those once. So now we should have Melina come to us and speak to us a bit more. And it's sounding a little bit like Alvin and the Chipmunks, but we're doing this so we can get through it quickly. So she's offered me a 100 cord, and we're going to serve the 2 fingers, but we're maidenless, so she's going to be the maiden. Giving us a little bit of background there, and now we can start leveling up at Sides of Grace. The next thing to do here is to head back to the Church of Elleh. Now normally at this stage Rani would appear sitting on the wall there, but she doesn't appear for me, possibly because I'm on New Game Plus and it's a bit confused as to what's going on. But when we come back here next time at night time, she will be there and we can do that part of her quest. You can get the Lone Wolf Spirit Ashes, and if it's your first playthrough, she'll give you the Spirit Tuning Bell, the Spirit Calling Bell, sorry. So the next thing we need to do again, we'll just grab the Lordsworn's Greatsword. Then we're going to head up to the next quest thing that we need to do. We've done the tutorial, we've done Varre, White Mask, we've spoken to Kale, bought those things. We've tried to go back to Rani, but we can do that later if it doesn't work for you. We're now going to head up to Stormhill Shack, so we'll just deal with these few guys first. If you don't want to fight them, you can always ride past really quickly. Deal with him, or ride past. There's some wolves will appear as well on the path to deal with. Don't forget to get your golden seed there. Kill the wolves. And then that's your next site of grace. This is Stormhill Shack. Stonesword key there to grab, and then you need to speak to this girl here, who's eventually going to do spirit tuning for you. So she's asking you to bring her something from the castle, basically. You need to get the item, then come back to her, and she'll then go to Round Table Hold, and then you can talk to her, talk to Hugh, and eventually she'll start spirit tuning. So next we're going to go to Warmaster Shack, I think, which is you don't have to deal with these giants if you don't want to, or trolls, whatever they are. this is the Warmaster shack, and this is the next site of grace we're going to get. Again, speak to Bernhal here and buy any ashes of war that you need from him. I'm going to buy all of them, even though I've got them, but I'm just going to buy them all anyway. He's later part of the Volcano Manor quest. So we've got a site of grace. We're now going to go and do an invasion. We're going to ride over here quickly. Get yourself ready. And we're going to be invited by Recusant Henricus, which will get you the Hammer Talisman. Just deal with him however you choose to. It's quite an easy way. Now we're going to head to the Saints Bridge site of grace to start Alexander's quest and D, Hunter of the Undead's quest. So, right down this way, deal with the soldier camp. There is a good weapon up on top of that ruin to the left, which you can access using Torrent by going round and jumping down to it. It's the lance, it's got very good range, but we're not going to grab it for now. If you want a good long range melee weapon, then you can take a short detour to pick that up. Just deal with those enemies there. There are some catacombs nearby as well that we can do later. But for now, we're going to do Alexander's quest. So all we need to do is help him get out of the hole. Go around to the back of him. You need to do a charge attack. 2 or 3 of those, and that'll get him popped out the hole, and he'll be very happy. And we'll meet Alexander a few more times. I think the next time is probably going to be in the Gale Tunnel in Kale, and then it'll be the Festival of War. That's the Saints Bridge site of grace grabbed. We're now going to deal with this Mad Pumpkinhead. Don't really want to do Margate the Fell Omen yet. So buy whatever you need from this merchant, buy any key items. Then head down this way through the graveyard and you should find D looking over a corpse and lamenting somewhat. So we deal with those. So he's going to tell us a little bit about death roots and those who live in death, and he's going to warn you not to go ahead because there's a mariner, a tibia mariner in Summerwater Village. So that's what we're going to go and deal with now. Basically these sort of ghostly boatmen who summon things. And they teleport as well, which can be annoying. Just use whatever you see fit to deal with these. Obviously you've got the undead guys trying to get you as well. Should be a fairly straightforward fight if you're reasonably leveled. Eventually, if he keeps teleporting, he'll probably teleport to this little separate pool around the corner. Again, the undead ones, unless you're using a certain weapon, you'll have to kill them again once they're down. But there you go, that's the Tibia Mariner. Dealt with. And that's pretty much concluded the first part of the guide. We'll need that death route for Gurrank, and D will tell us a bit more about that when we get into the next part. So that's the first part. Again, don't go for Margate the Fell Omen yet. Do Varre, go to the Church of Elleh, do Melina at the Gatefront, Stormhill Shack, Warmaster Shack, then get yourself over here and do those other little bits on the way. I'll hopefully see you in part 2. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Elden Ring content.